Hi, my name is John Johnson. I wanted to make this quick, short video series, just like an introduction to spirituality for anybody, because it's a very accessible thing. I know I'm a stranger on the internet to anybody who's watching this, so I just wanted to share, what credentials I have, which aren't anything official. I didn't go to school for theology. All I did was I grew up in a very religious, very Christian household growing up, and then in my 20s I kind of fell away from Christianity and embraced atheism. And then during COVID, I had all this free time, and I wanted to just start, going through and evaluating, the different spiritual practices in the world and see if there is any truth among anything. So all this video series is really is sharing some of the notes I found on the way. I'm going to share some books that I've read myself, and then some thoughts and conclusions I've come to, and because I think it's super accessible to anybody. It's really not that scary, once you realize well, you'll see. But yeah, it's not that serious. Well, it was so, spirituality and religion growing up for me was pretty intense when I was a kid. I just thought, it was this giant commitment. But the truth is, like, there's actually like a genuine overlap between, psychology and spirituality. And I kind of think that, religion is just has been the plate that spirituality has been delivered to us on, and so we only know it through religion mostly, and through these institutions and these organizations that have existed for centuries. And without saying that, I'm not saying that any one of those is false. I mean, there's a chance that there's the one true religion, or multiple. What I suspect is that maybe multiple religions throughout their pursuit of spirituality have maybe stumbled upon some truths, and so exploring them would allow us with a modern eye to evaluate and see what was found and what wasn't. So that I'm just a hobbyist student of it in that way. But everybody, there's honestly, with maybe 2 minutes of information, everybody could really embrace the idea that truthfully we're all, it's very easy spiritual. But that's it. Not it. Okay, sorry. I mentioned, during COVID, I was doing some research. So I just to show you some of the books that I've found and read. This one's called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. So I was actually reading this other book called The Dancing Woolly Masters. So The Dancing Woolly Masters is a book about physics and quantum physics, but a lot of the book explores, or not explores, but through creative metaphors will reference some proverbial idea from Buddhism, and they in this book they reference this book. This book, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, it is essentially, it's 100 pages or so of written. Somebody wrote down the lectures of, I guess, what's his name, Shunryu Suzuki. I'm not sure that's the person who wrote it, or if that's the person who orated it. But basically, there was a Zen master who came over to the United States somewhere around the 1930s and 50s. Sorry, I kind of glossed over the intro here. And he just kind of started doing lessons. People were talking, not talking. It was taking off in America, the pursuit of, like, Zen. That's probably where that most of us know that word in our culture. As kids, I would be aware of that word being Zen, or being, I was always think it was being chill. But it's a type of Buddhist meditation, which I had no idea about until, like, way later on in life, which is, sorry, kind of funny of my own ignorance. But they just, they explore the different kinds, not different kinds of meditation, but just ways to challenge your own mind through meditation. But in the lessons, they also explore, like, the principles, some Buddhist principles that lead to those, what they call koans, which are like paradoxical kind of sayings. They're supposed to kind of get your mind to contradict itself, and kind of see how there's space there. If you kind of shift yourself. So there's parts of Buddhism and meditation that are really just kind of like brain exercises, if you think about it in a way. So I read this book twice. I read this book twice. My Nana, rest in her soul, she gave me this book before she passed away, called The Compassion Book. This is from Pema Chodron. So I guess she's this. I'm so sorry. People watching this may know who these people are and realize that they're very famous and whatever. And I'm just an ignorant kind of student who stumbled upon them. But there's like I guess Buddhist proverbs, and this lady, Pema Chodron, wrote The Compassion Book, and just kind of simplified those into really common understanding. And they're all simple, quick little things, like one line. So I read a couple of these every day, and it's like, one is, don't transfer the ox's load to the cow. And what she says on that is, don't transfer your load to someone else. Take responsibility for what is yours, right? So it's really accessible. It's not really, it's okay. So it's that, these are just nice ways to live life. So just reading that. I'm still reading this. This is called The Hero with a Thousand Faces, and it's written by Joseph Campbell, who, as I understand it, is a student of Carl Jung, and who is a prominent figure in psychology. And this book explores the world's different mythologies, and how they all represent like kind of different spiritual metaphors in life. That's how I'm understanding it to be so far. And through this book, it's some of the mythologies. I mean, maybe all mythologies are rooted in religion. I don't actually know if that's true, but some of these are just what I know as Greek mythology, and some of these are like Buddhist tales, or just any religion can be captured in here. And so because of that, I've been exposed to some other religious ideologies that have really expanded my mind. So there's that. And then another book I read, it was called The Subtle Body. I'm going to read this again. I'm not sure what the absolute value of this is, but essentially this person, if I'm to take it to be factual, categorized it like an encyclopedic quick exposure to the world's historical different like energy beliefs, like chakras, or in what's the one, Kabbalah for Hebrew. There's some in like Native American stuff. So I thought that was really fascinating, and I went through and I read this, and some things are interesting in terms of exposing you to like how there's like, for example, there's qigong, which Tai Chi comes from, and also acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine. They're all under Qigong, which I wasn't aware of until this book. And like that's where the concepts of like dantians and meridians exist. But those are and those are similar concepts to like if you move over a bit in the part of the world to India, to like a Hindu or yoga, where they have like chakra based systems. And so I thought that was fascinating. So I wanted to see if there's anything to any common overlap. And what I did appreciate about this book was that she does cite a lot of other literature that she references, from people from as recent as the 20th century, who have made advances in science that are accepted today through understandings of these things, of which is mentioned a lot is acupuncture, which again falls under qigong. And so it's fascinating to sit here and think, well, we have things that have wormed their way into Western medicine that are from an era that is not understood by our side. So all this is just stuff I've read casually. I didn't go to school for any of this stuff. Just I've just been I had a life exposed to very Catholicism, and also different Protestant churches growing up, and very intensive going to all the holiday celebrations. Well, to a point of then to atheism, to now just kind of looking into this. So that's it. I'm just a student of my own design, and if you guys are curious of the notes that I've found, which I have been helping me in my life, there's a couple more videos in this playlist that I think could be useful. All right, see you.